Nope.
We are
Now we are
live.
The
live.
broadcast
We
is
are
live.
finally live, y'all. Hey guys, we are the FilAM Film Collective. I'm Adrian. Popcorn to Marissa, go ahead.
I'm Marissa. Popcorn to Rich.
Oh, my name is Rich. I think Martha's in the background.
Someone let Martha in.
Yeah.
Got it.
Martha's in. There she is.
Hi.
Okay,
Turn, Martha.
go Rich. Introduce yourself or say your
Oh,
name.
my name is Rich.
Popcorn, it's someone.
Oh no.
Martha.
I'm Martha. Popcorn Ian.
Is he
I'm
frozen
Ian.
again?
Popcorn
Oh, he's-
Trixie.
Okay, that was a strange use of popcorn. I'm Trixie. Yeah.
And we are the FilAM Film
everyone.
Collective. okay, so the reason why I did that is because clearly the last time we've gone live, it was just us three. But then for those that are tuning back in who've watched our past streams and content, you can tell there are new faces to the grid. We have Martha and Ian, but Rich, he's been with us for a while. But welcome to Behind the Scene, and this was a show created by Marissa. And Marissa, do you want to talk about what Behind the Scene is?
Yeah, behind the scene is just about the filmmakers behind what we make here at the FilAM Film Collective. So, yes.
Yes, and since it's the end of the month, like what I was saying earlier, that like our live streams have become a monthly thing, and I was like, what a better way to actually feature like some of the faces behind the collective instead of bringing in another guest. And here are all of us. Um, ooh, I had my notes planned out, but if Trixie or Marissa, if y'all want to add anything about the collective and what we've done so far and what we're doing.
Oh, you're
Go
throwing
ahead,
it back to us?
Marissa.
Yeah.
Go, Marissa, go.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
my phone
I
is
mean,
freaking out and
yeah,
I'm trying
you're
to figure
fine.
it
You're
out.
fine. Sorry, Adrian. What are you saying?
Oh no. Oh no, she's basically saying if y'all want to add anything about the intro to the collective, anything that I
Oh.
missed.
No, I think you got it. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, you're good. It's okay. It's okay, y'all. This is gonna be very conversational. Okay. Trixie, are you back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you mind introducing a little bit about what the our three things as the FilAM Film Collective?
Yes, to my memory.
Yes, your
We are
memory.
about um
Three things. That's all I
Filipino
remember.
representation and the Filipino American representation in media. We're also about honing in our own skills and developing our own skills through creating and collaborating with each other. And the last one is building community in Filipino spaces and communities here in San Diego and Southern California, aka LA, but really wherever. We're just building community through creativity and art.
Yeah. And actually one follow-up question. So I was watching our past live stream, which was the second year live stream that we did. And it's actually kind of amazing to see how much we've been able to get done since February of this year to now. And Trixie, since you're mainly one of the main vehicles to like drive us forward to becoming more of a like a physical community, would you mind actually sharing just a little bit about that? Thank you.
Yeah, when it was us three, it was really freaking hard. Definitely that was part of it. And Marissa, Adrian, and I work really well together, but it's really hard when it's just three people, which is why a lot of the time we would pull in Rich to be like, hey, do this with us.
I was gonna say plus Rich as the fourth, the one who got cropped out in our original
got
photo.
cropped out of our original photo. It's very true. Also with the pandemic and everything, obviously that was really difficult in all of our lives. I'm sure like that for everyone in this room and everyone out there, like our lives changed a lot. Our capacities changed a lot. And then moving into a time where things are getting better, quote unquote, better. Having more people in our community just seemed like the right thing to do. Like if we were already all at capacity, it was just like, well, then we're at capacity. But bringing it, we knew a lot of cool people and we've been working with people, so we did wanted to open it up and not to just like have people work with us, but have people lead as well. I don't think with Marissa, Adrian, and I, like, dude, if you want to lead, let's do it. Like, we're kind of like that because we know, especially after it being us three for so long and having to lead, it's a lot. And also there are a lot of people out there with like better ideas than us or have skills that we don't have. And I think building like a community, when we're talking about like a community, it has to be like not just like, oh, here's Edrian and Marissa and like the stuff that they do. It needs to be like, oh, we're actually building like a FilAM community and like a filmmaker community here with others, and their voices matter too. It just can't be about us, which I felt like when we were talking about it, it felt right for the three of us. We discussed it not just being like our thing anymore. And it felt right. And so going in this direction has been super fun and I feel like gratifying. And because it's more than us, we have been able to do more online and in person. That's it. Dun, 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 dun.
Yay, thank you. Before we actually start, I also want to ask Marissa and also Rich, because Rich has literally been our fourth member since we started. If you all want to add anything from like, I guess
Rich is
maybe
like, you have never given me these props until now.
Rich,
Look at his
we've given
face.
you props, okay? We've given you props since, well, actually, no, we decided to like hide it on purpose, but it's your chance.
No, for me, it was always just a chance to hang out. It wasn't necessarily anything super, super, super serious. I mean, I don't know if anybody took it super, super serious, but I always thought that it was a good avenue to come and just be creative and kind of infuse like my own bit of energy and whatever into it. I don't know if that could be annoying because sometimes I can be a little bit annoying. I mean, especially trying to learn the lines to Rocky, like I was learning it my way, and Trixie was just like, "You motherfucker, you better get this." You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, it was always just a way to have fun.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
about you,
and
Marissa?
just to echo, I guess what both Trixie and Rich have said, and like obviously when me and Trixie started it, it's because like we wanted to get better at our craft and like practice that, and I think obviously we've done that. But I think when we were even just discussing the name, the FilAM Film Collective, and I'm speaking to the collective part, like it wasn't just supposed to be us forever, and I think that's what we wanted. It's again to find people with other strengths, other skill sets, and to collaborate amongst again other people outside of just us three, us four, and that's what we're doing now. So I'm very happy
And
about it. And yeah.
and
Sorry, go
speaking,
ahead.
oh no, oh sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was actually trying to like sneakily find a segue. I'm bad at segues, but speaking of segues, we have two more people here with us, and actually we're not complete. I think there are like at least four more people that are not here, which I think is amazing, y'all. So if I can have Ian and Martha, actually, I want to give you all the platform to introduce yourselves and how you found us and how you got involved with the collective. Starting with Martha.
Well, I actually know Marissa from San Diego State. We met like, my God, like 7 years ago. And
yeah, I've known Martha the longest.
that's so funny. Oh, but yeah, we've just been like I mean, whatever it means to like keep in touch on social media. We've just like always followed each other, and like I don't know, a year ago I started seeing things about the first ever San Diego Filipino Film Festival, and I was like, wait, what? Like that exists here finally? Like I've never, like I volunteered at the Asian Film Festival one time, but like that's if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Filipino Americans make up probably the largest Asian population in the United States, yet we're arguably some of the least represented. And yeah, so I saw that and I was like, I like, I gotta get in on this. Like, so I went to one screening, and I ended up running into Marissa, and just kind of like started, I don't know, like just stumbled into this community and these, these new friendships that have been like really, really amazing and life-giving. And, I hadn't really written anything or like exercised my creative muscles since I graduated film school. And now that I have this community, I feel like it's unlocked a new level of creativity that I didn't know existed in me. And it's been really great. And I love you guys.
Martha,
Yay.
you're gonna make us cry.
I have a new nickname for Marta. Marta? Martita. There you go. Especially when she was rapping to what was that song you were
Super bass.
rap? Yes, at Trixi's party.
Yeah,
Oh, Trixi, you missed it.
yeah, you missed it.
Next time.
I'll
next
send
time.
you the video. But for now, Popcorn at 2. Go Ian, take the
Popcorn
stage.
Ian.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I'm Ian Dollinger. I'm taking it. I'm taking the stage. I found the FilAM Film Collective when I was kind of looking for my own sense of community. I was just finishing up about a month after my 31-day consecutive blog posting challenge that I put on myself to kind of keep myself in a creative cycle. And that was dwindling down. And I saw Marissa doing all these posts on a collective, and I was just like, a writing collective, and a day you guys meet together to write. What's this about? I'm thinking of starting my own and just going back and forth with Marissa. She was like, you don't have to be Filipino to join our collective, dude. Come on. And I was like, all right. So I really wanted to find my sense of community with creatives, because I was in an understanding where the vastness of your creativity can only be as deep as you can receive. And I didn't understand how to receive a sense of that slice of community, of being surrounded by people that are like-minded. So I instantly clicked with, I would say I instantly clicked with you guys, and took the stage with really being able to be involved with the weekly process of the writing sessions. Thankfully was able to lead a couple times, which was really fun, and then hopefully get to lead a couple more. But yeah, it was really, really nice and easy transition. It felt like I've known you guys for a long time, and finally doing my first 48-hour film challenge with you guys and working with Martha, it was really cool to work with another writer finally. So yeah, it was an amazing experience. There you go, Adrian.
Thank you, Rich. Come back. No, just kidding. He probably went to the bathroom. Yeah, so thank you all for being here. I also want to give a shout out to those that are not here. Alicia, Earl, Liz, and Leia, and also to our other friends that are not here who have also been supporting us along the way. So this question is actually open for everyone. And that question is, what drives you as an artist? Where do you get your inspiration from? I'm a popcorn dad too. Rich first, popcorn it to someone after.
Oh, what drives me as an artist? I think it's just, like daily life. I think you take inspiration from everything that happens to you, whether positive or negative. You just take, you always use that as just a sense of experience, and always have the willingness to actually try things without the fear of failure. And if you fail, it's just another step to getting better. Yeah, as some of you guys are well aware, 39 days ago, I decided I was going to learn to DJ. And the first time I ever hopped onto a set of turntables, it was on Twitch. So I've been streaming my progress every single day so far. And, and you're always going to make mistakes, but I think it's one of those where you will fail, and you're just going to have to grow some calluses, and basically that's how you grow. It's like a muscle, right? You lift weights, the muscle breaks, it heals itself. Scar tissue causes the muscle to get bigger and bigger and bigger till eventually you have good muscle tone. That's pretty much it. That's where I get my inspiration from.
I was like, where are you going to land this sentence? I was like, he's finding it. He's finding it. He's finding it. He found it.
Good muscle tone, yes. No, but also like, you know, going back to, you know, the FilAM Film Collective, one of the biggest things was that, you know, when you three first started it, it was, I knew there was a way for you guys to expand and to kind of practice and get better at your art. And, you know, because I was simply the fifth Beatle, the guy that got cropped out of the photo, I pretty much was just a hard hand. So I figured, like, you know, if you guys need help with something to improve your skill, that's where I come from. You know what I'm saying? Like the background guy, the guy that you just kind of like, you know, put at the bottom of the roster, you know, once in a while. Hey, you know what? We might need Rich's help. So, you know, it's always been great.
You're just a touring member. Like, you know, we were the official members. You were a touring member only.
Yeah.
Only
Like,
one on tour us.
background
Just kidding.
singer, stage artist.
Popcorn it to the next person. Go.
Okay, I'm gonna popcorn it to Ian.
Oh man. Question being inspiration. Oh, I would have to say I just always felt like writing was a purpose for me in life. I think that it's something that highlighted in the background of everything I've gotten praise for in school was writing. And school wasn't really easy for me. So I felt the most comfortable with writing, and I felt the most comfortable with expressing emotion through writing and finding the right words to express that, because communication being one of the most important things in my life. And, you know, being a product of my generation fell into, you know, the great vastness of the explorative age of anime. You know, I consider us being in a golden age right now for it, but an explorative age right now of an anime, or back when we were younger, just we saw a huge amount of raw emotional ideas. And being a kid and experiencing that was just like unlimited inspiration. You know, one of the things that took me surprised was Interstellar 5555, Secret of the Story of the Secret Solar System, which is a movie that was animated to Daft Punk's Discovery album. And it is basically a story through and through with no words, and it was just raw emotion. And I think I was around 11 when I first saw it, and it blew my 11-year-old brain. And that really is like the key to what I'm doing here, is expressing emotion, and sometimes that has to be done through with music, because there's not enough words in any language to express the vastness of human emotion. And finding a way to find that medium to mix music with my writing is one of the goals here. So yeah, I'll popcorn it to Trixi.
I just want to say that I'm scared about where we're gonna go, because this is like question one, and it's just like, why do you art? I think for me, and it's funny that Ian's talking about emotion, because I've been thinking about this recently, and I think art is the way that I process emotions and my humanity in like different ways. Like, because I started out dancing, everyone's like, well, is that like your outlet? Is that when like how like you get your emotions out? And I'm like, actually, no. It's not. When I think of, except for maybe anger, when I was doing a lot of hip hop. Like usually for dance, it's about skill building. Like, I mean, obviously I'm expressing and stuff like that, but it feels more in my head, I'm like skill building, and I'm figuring out how to do things like mechanically. Dance is actually a little more analytical for me. But when it comes to processing emotions and creating stuff, then actually choreography and writing is where I feel like I'm able to process those things. And more so now doing different things, like acting is like another way to approach emotion, but it's odd for me because it's not like me processing it. It's like I get to experience showing it and emoting it in a place that feels safe for me, because it's going to end. And I very much separate myself from like whatever character I'm doing. So I don't know. I think for artists, like in general, like art is just like, it's like this odd part of our lives. Like it's almost like you were born this kind of way. But I do think everyone is really creative. But you know, there are those like us who are like a little bold in a specific way and a little maybe like also reckless in another way, because art is so like, it's, you know, it's not stable, you know, but there's something in all of us that like makes us burn and desire. And then when we're apart from it, when we keep coming back, and then we come back and we find that fire again, and it's just there. So I think that's really cool. So I think it's innate, especially for all of us here. And I think my relationship with art will build and grow, but that's where my mind has been as of late. It's just, I think it really is the way that I like process the world with emotions and just whatever happens. I will popcorn it to Martha, who in my computer is below me. Is everyone below? Yeah. Okay, cool. Go, Martha, go.
Hello. I would say right now, this moment, or like, I guess this year, just to kind of piggyback on what Rich was saying earlier, I'd say just life. And I think, you know, you can't really write what you don't know. And even if it's like, you know, you're writing some fantasy, like sci-fi, whatever, like, you know, someone who writes that really well, it's always going to parallel with something in real life. Like, you know, art does imitate life. And I would say the best art, the most relatable, or the, what's the word that I'm looking for? It starts with an R. I can't remember. Someone knows. I'll figure it out in like 10 minutes. But it's just how my brain works sometimes.
Resonate?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Bingo, 1 point for me.
Yes. 10 points. 10 points for Adrian. Yes, the type of art that resonates the most with people, I think, is you know, born out of lived experiences, whether like we can directly relate to it or not. You know, the person who wrote it does. And yeah. And I would also say, like, the people you surround yourself with, the community that you know, we were talking a lot about community. Like, I think right now, like, that's it's like kind of been my saving grace, because this year's been really, really hard. And I think the most joyful experiences that I've had, like, this year, and I would say like as an artist in general, is just being surrounded by good people. And you know, people who not necessarily just other creatives, but people who believe in you and believe in that ability, even when I don't sometimes. Because let's be honest, being an artist is, you know, you feel the imposter syndrome about like every 5 minutes with these waves of like, oh, I can do this. If you guys see that meme, that's just like, hey, this is cool. Wait, I don't know about this. This is shit. Wait, maybe this could work. Wait, this is awesome. And then that cycle just starts over and over again. And I think the reason we can always get back on track is because there's always someone in our corner being like, hey, you can do this. This is a good idea. Like, let's run with this. How can we support you? How can we help you? How can we make it better? And yeah, that's just, I think lately that's just kind of been my driving force behind the way that I do art. Yeah. Popcorn Marissa.
Let me unmute. All right. I think I have kind of like two answers for this. One is more of like a self-serving answer. So like what drives me as an artist is, it's in terms of like filmmaking, it's one of the few things that I truly feel like gets me in the flow state. Like what comes most natural to me. Whether I'm editing something and I look up at the clock, I'm like, oh, I've been editing for 8 hours, I didn't even realize. Or I'm on set where like I feel like there's a certain like confidence there that like I don't have in other places in my life. So that's like the self-serving answer. In terms of like when it comes to like serving others, or at least I hope to serve others, I feel like art, whether it's film or music or dance or whatever it is, like I think art serves to make sure that people don't experience things in isolation. So again, going back to kind of what Martha has said, like, you know, of course, like we want to make things, or we love to consume things as well as create things that will resonate with someone else, because we felt something. I think sometimes when we do feel like, you know, the tougher, the more difficult emotions, part of like the discomfort is because like we think that this isn't something that is so unique to me. And I'm sure, yes, it is unique to you because you were experiencing it and whatever you're going through. But I think when you hear a song or you see a movie that reflects your experience, you're like, there's a little bit of a relief. And I think that's why I create, is just like for those little moments of relief, or even that little moment of like, someone has felt this way too. So I hope to do that for others. That's my answer. Edrian, what drives you as an artist? You
Okay,
gotta
I'll
answer.
go. It's kind of funny because I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people in here. Like for the longest time, it was just us three, or maybe two more other people when it was like for other stuff that we've done. But I mean, I think y'all basically touched up on it. But I think the two things that I also want to share is like community, as maybe like overuse as that word sounds, but I feel like I really feel it, like being away from y'all, like being a part of this community, like really, like I feel it, you know, and it's something I'm able to, I feel like, take with me wherever I go or wherever we go, I feel like. Um, and then also to feel like humanity, like for as long as I can remember, kind of piggybacking off what Trixie said, like it allows me to process, it allows me to tap back into my like human self, and it also allows me to make sense of my like emotional body, basically like just kind of creating something and being able to process that. So that's it for my answer. Marissa and Trixie, do you guys have any questions that y'all want to ask? If not, I have more.
Yeah, actually, I'll just piggyback off of like you just saying community, and how it's like an overused word. And I actually agree. And I agree only because I feel like a lot of people fucking say community, but they don't really mean it. They mean like my patrons, the people who are giving me money, like and all that stuff. So I guess I'm jaded. But I guess my question to anyone in the group, just, you know, unmute, whatever, we talk over each other, someone will relent. But what do you guys actually feel like makes a good community, or what are the what are the things what you actually look for a community that you want to be in? And go.
First, yeah, I like to touch on that first. Actually, I think what makes a good community is kind of what we leaned more towards on the writing sessions, where everyone had a platform to discuss their emotional states. I think that taking in comprehension of everyone's emotional state through a process and receiving that and having the support if it needed, or if someone just needs to be an ear, you know what I mean? And having a understanding of that entire process of being an artist, which is a masochist process, or you're just constantly in that flow state, like Martha said, where you hate it, you love it, you hate it, you love it, you hate it, you love it. So it's that grounding aspect of a community that I like to see. Of yeah, that's normal. Yeah, you're gonna go through that, you know. And it's the sharing of the experience. Because again, I didn't answer the second part of the question. Was, you know, kind of like, what's the point? You know, for me, it's that whole of experience. You know, to me, life is not to be, it's to experience. So for that to put the work out and have the receiving end from my community tell me that was a good way to represent an experience, you know, to have that, you know, no matter how hard it is to tell someone, that was shitty work. You know, it's you can find nicer words and have tact, but you kind of expect that of the community too, to share that with you. So that's kind of what I take from it. I can't really popcorn to anybody. It's a free standing thing. So
Rich, you're unmuted. So is that you? We're gonna count as unmuted as you want to talk.
Oh, well, because I have a mute button down here too. But anyway.
And also too, so Rich can flex his nice microphone. Hey, Pixel Studio SD, come on, shout out.
It's Pixel Lounge.
It's Pixel Lounge.
Oh, Pixel Lounge. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Pixel Lounge SD. Come on, Vince. Sorry.
No, I mean, when it comes to community, I think that, it's still, unfortunately, like what Trixi says, right? Community a lot of times refers to how many subscribers I have on YouTube, how many subscribers I have on Twitch, and pretty much it's like you try to develop a community so that you could use those numbers predominantly to monetize off of them, whether it's brand deals and whatnot, yada yada yada. But at the core of it, I always look at community as similar to like the SD Vlog Squad. It's like just a group of people trying to achieve a common goal. I was talking to Nelson, who runs Picture Flicks, and we were talking about how the progress of the YouTube meetup groups and everything. And I told him, like, it was a lot different when it was predominantly like, well, it was new, and it was Edrian, Marissa, and I collabing pretty much like every week, right? And it's and that was more of a community to me than what it is now, because we were actually coming together to achieve like that common goal, and then progress creatively, and then talk to each other on a level that's pretty unmatched to any one of my friends. I don't need all my friends to be YouTubers, because what kind of boring life would that be? But at least there's that spot in my life where I can always go to actually to achieve that goal, or to get that sort of knowledge and education.
Before I don't actually have to answer this question, but I do just want to also piggyback off what Rich said about Picture Flicks. I got it right this time. Picture Flicks. Picture Flicks is where I've met Trixi before, but basically where all four of us met all together was because at some point we were all on the same trajectory to really grow our YouTube channel. Hey Vince, and like what Rich said too, like I feel like that point of our lives, I feel like I'll always carry in me, which I guess maybe is piggybacking into this question. It's like, for me personally, like a community isn't something that you only like show or like maybe make face for, but I think at the end of the day is how you're able to make another person feel like that impact. Yeah, I guess that's it for me. Who wants to go? If anyone wants to go.
Before anyone goes, just for everybody that doesn't know, that was Vince here at the Pixel Lounge. He actually helped us with all the the cameras for our last
for
48-hour
for
film.
all that expensive gear. So thanks, Vince.
Yes.
He's the real one.
Thanks,
the
Papi.
realist. I mean, I guess I'm unmuted in terms of like community and like what I think of what community is, because we're getting back on track. I think about in terms of just the people, right? Because I feel like when you go out searching for community, whether you're looking for it or not, right? You're looking for whether it's like, again, we have like a creative community here with the Film Collective, also a community that is for the representation of Filipino Americans. And I think those of us who are involved with STFC, that is also kind of a similar reason why we gravitated towards that organization. But I also think about, again, going back to people, I think about a good community. It has people who, I'm not going to say are egoless, but have their egos in check. So you show up, and of course, like, you're there for something. You're looking for a creative outlet. You're looking for, I go to a martial arts academy. So I go there to train. but I go there and I don't feel like I'm competing against somebody. But there are people that are better than me, so I'm there to learn from them, and vice versa. It's like an exchange, but again, exchange where it's not like, oh, I'm better than you, so you have to, whatever. There's no like authority in terms of we're all here for a similar reason, and now we're all here to learn from each other or support each other in whatever way that we can. And I think that's what, for me, I see as a good community. It's just like everyone has an ego, but like there's no like ego just taking over the room every time that you guys get together or meet up. And I feel like we have that here. Hopefully everyone feels the same way.
Come on, Soaker jerk moment. Come on.
Well, I'm muted now. Guys, I'm so awkward. I mean, this is
You're at
me.
the right place, Martha. You definitely belong here.
Anyway, what's happening? Oh, community. Trixi, like just seeing her reactions, just like it's kind of making my life right now. It's pretty fun. Yeah, I think everything Marissa said. Yeah, people have their egos in check. It's not like that everywhere, and it feels alienating and it sucks. But here I think like the key, in my opinion, is that like we're friends. Like, yes, this is like our shared passions for creativity and representation, et cetera, like that kind of brought us together, but we actually like each other as people, and we just hang out and shoot the shit. Like we can, these are like good community is, people that I think you can talk to about life and other stuff, and like being supportive of each other. Like some of you guys know, like I said, this has been a hard year, and a couple of you know why. And I don't mind letting the rest of you guys in this circle like know like what's been happening like in my life, like why it's been so hard. And yeah, I kind of like went a little off the path of what I was originally going to say, but yeah, like we like each other and we hang out, and we don't always have to talk about film or whatever. Like, we like to do karaoke together. just like hang out and have fun. Friendship is back to memes, because this is kind of how I live my life, and this is how my brain works. Like, friendship is like finding a person and be like, hey, I like you, let's just do stuff together. And a lot of what we do together just happens to be art and filmmaking and whatever, but also karaoke, just because it's fun. It doesn't always have to be about like that thing, like what Trixi was saying about like how the word community is overused. I was actually just thinking about this last night. It's been kind of like hijacked as like a corporate term. I hate to say it, but it's like, yeah. So you guys
community, diversity, all that.
Yeah. And like, yeah, it's just kind of like the vibe has been kind of not what it originally was meant to be. But yeah, I think it just comes down to like finding people that you vibe with well. And yeah, now I'm talking myself in circles, so somebody please somebody else please talk.
I will join in on this circle jerk. Unless Ian, do you want to talk? Okay, you can talk after me. Yeah, no, I really like our little community. I feel like, okay, so when we were filming for the 40 Outer Film Festival, I kept saying it, I'm like, we're all just a bunch of type A people. Like like we're just a bunch of type A people, so we're like working really well. Like, and I kept saying it, not that I didn't care about the product that we made, but I'm like, but this was such like a good experience. Like everyone was just doing their thing and like working hard. And like sometimes, like we had to tell Edrian to stop doing extra stuff. So I'm like, dude, you're gonna get sweaty. Like, stop helping extra. Like, I know you want to help, but like this isn't what we're doing right now. Because that's how everyone is. So like being part of that community, like you said, like we all like each other. And I honestly feel like that comes from like also respect. It's like Rich said, like we do like hanging out and stuff like that. But when we're actually doing the art, we're very serious, like at that moment. Like we are doing it. Like we're not trying to, you know, no one like messes around when we're doing takes. Like if we mess up, we're like genuinely messing up. We're not like wasting time. Also, I do want to say that Rich did great for Rocky Balboa, and I didn't yell at him about knowing the script. I yelled at him for distracting Edrian. And that's why I was yelling at him.
Actually, to piggyback off that, I think you were just yelling in general, but nevertheless, a great director.
Oh, yeah, I hella yell. I'm yelling now. I feel like if you don't know, like my talking is yelling. Like, and that's just really what it is. But yeah, like, because I know Rich like knew that script. Like I feel like the day after I gave him like that, I was like, "Here, memorize this," and he came back and I was like, "Oh, you actually super memorized that. Good job." But yeah, like having that respect for each other, like we can hang out and we do like each other, but I really do think it's because we do have that respect, and because we have that respect, it makes us available to see each other as humans. So that we can go past just like, oh, this is Rich as an actor, this is Marissa as a DP. Like we get to be like, okay, we got our work done. We all like did our thing. And so of course we want to know each other more. Like, of course we want to hang out and eat with each other, because like the things that we're passionate about, it's not just something that we have in common, but we're actually all reaching for this goal. And like, you know, because you know, in most cases there's always like one shit ass and you're like, what the fuck is this motherfucker doing? Like, you know, but like that doesn't really happen in our groups. Like, okay, Rich is like that motherfucker, but he's not even really that. He just likes to say shit, but when it's time to do stuff, like he's in it. And that's the thing, like a lot of us do that. Like I yell and I curse at everyone all the time, and then when it's time to do things, they're just like, we're just doing things. So I feel like, again, in that way, like we're all able to be ourselves, but having that respect for each other to make stuff together, I feel like really, like that's why this is a circle jerk. Like I feel like that's really what makes our specific community strong, is because we're able to do all those things. Okay, Ian, go.
Oh, I was just gonna go off of a little thing, but I already had answered this question, but I think the joking mostly happens with Martha and I in that writing room. I mean, when we were writing, she came up with the best joke for 48 Film Hour, and she was like, "I'm sorry, I'm weird." I'm like, "Nah, that was gold. It needs to go in at least as an offshoot just for us to play around." So no, Martha, you're not weird. You're extremely talented. You do, not to add on to a singular circle jerk here, but you are extremely talented, and working with you was a pleasure. Definitely opened up that throttle on the dark humor. That was golden, man. It was golden.
Oh, thanks. That was so nice. Thank you.
Oh, y'all, this has really become a real circle jerk of a live stream right here.
Can I
I
say
need it
something
right
to
now,
clear-
actually. But go, Rich, go.
Can I say something to clear things up? I know I say a lot of stupid shit, right? A lot of times I just blurt things out, but a lot of times it's because I'm also like a perfectionist, and that's the only way I can relax, or else the stressors of it will just keep me like the pressure of it all will just make it unsufferable. Like it's unbearable. Like I'd rather come in there, relax, loosey goosey, and then perform. You know what I'm saying? Because like at some point,
A.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. The first time when you first showed up on set, the first thing you did was crack off with a joke, and it was a good joke. It was a real good joke.
What joke
I
is
didn't
that?
sense any hostility in it. I didn't sense any hostility in you, and I didn't feel any of that. So I think some of your one-liners are golden, man. You got it. I think that to diffuse the tension sometimes when you know the feeling of the room is one of the greatest gifts you can provide a crew.
Well, thank you. I just want to know what that joke was, though.
It's okay. You don't need to remember, especially if
I'll
it
tell you
was
later.
about
I'll tell you later.
me. But I actually just wanted to ask if it's okay if we go till 6:45, or if you have to go. Does anyone have to go?
I thought this was 6 to 7, so I'm golden.
No, Trixie will stay extra till 7:15, and then we all go off. No, just kidding. Actually, Marissa, do you have any questions that you would like to ask? Since I kind of like, I was like, help me all. If you have any, if not, it's okay too.
I don't really have any. I think we're just flowing, honestly. So, but if you have more,
Okay. I think I have two more for the sake of time, and since naturally we've kind of gravitated towards the circle joke moments, which I really hope that we did, and we did. So, um, let's see. Hmm.
Why don't we have Rich or Ian or Martha ask a question? Do you guys have any questions?
Oh,
Real
yes,
questions,
please.
Rich.
Oh yes, please. Yes, yeah. I think I'll
Okay.
ask the final question.
So with the three of you guys, when you guys first started this, what was the biggest hurdle that you guys had? Other than other than scheduling. 'Cause
Watch
I'm
our
saying,
past
like,
live streams. It's there. No, just kidding. Go ahead.
yeah, I don't have time to watch it. Well, anyway, no, I'm saying what was the biggest hurdle? So is it scheduling time? Is it just equipment? Is it
This is okay. I think this is actually a thing. Like Marissa, Adrian, and I do work really well with each other. However, we are all people who try to be really nice. And so sometimes that just makes for awkward conversations when we're all trying to be nice to each other, but we're also trying to make a thing, like, and figure out what we're going to do. And I think, I mean, it didn't take us super long, but I do think sometimes like it takes a second, like, you know, to get used to that, because like we all are people are like, I don't want to step on you, but at the same time we all know that not everyone can be in charge in an equal way, because that's exhausting and horrible, and also that you don't want to step, you know, on your fellow, like, so finding like that perfect balance of like where we're at, like that's actually I feel like was our strong suit. The three of us would check on in with how we were feeling constantly, like, and so it did change, and when it changed there were no hard feelings. It's just like, no, we just need to be honest about where we are or we're just not going to make it. So when people need breaks, knowing that they need breaks, like not taking those things personally, just being like, no, people need freaking breaks, especially in the pandemic and stuff like that. It's like, it's a freaking pandemic, so being respectful for each other there, I really feel like was really helpful. But you know, again, like I definitely think a hurdle for us, and I'm just thinking back, is us just being really nice to each other and figuring out how to actually say what we need to say to get across, and without feeling like I'm being so mean. That's all I got.
I mean, I'll kind of, yeah, just off of that train of thought. I mean, yeah, I definitely agree with that too. It was just kind of like, again, finding how to kind of settle on something, as like our collective had to evolve. Obviously, we went through, you know, we're still in a pandemic, but we went through like lockdown and not being able to see each other, and like from going to like from going from filming 3 scenes in a row to just like nothing basically, or like not being able to do anything, was hard. But then also transitioning out of that once things got a little bit safer, and understanding what did we want our collective to look like, and yeah, just evolving it. Honestly, it has happened, I can't even count how many times it's happened. And you know, going back to like the communication of just like understanding what we want collectively, but also what each of us want individually too. Because like I personally have told Adrian and Trixie, like, I don't know if I'm like the type to be like, I'm gonna lead things all the time, when it's like that's just not in me. Not that I don't want to, but it's just like I don't know. Like I want to be able to like serve people in the best way that I can, and I know that like for me, my strength is, again, being the technical person, whether it's the camera or the editor or anything along the lines, where it says like, I'm not sure how to lead something, and if I were to lead something, like I would again want to provide some sort of value. um and again, just being able to communicate that and not have, you know, feel like I'm being able to take up that space and not being afraid to. And I think that's something that we've all learned together, and again, continuing to learn and adjust. as time goes on. Edrian?
Oh. What was the question again? The struggle?
Yeah, what's like been the biggest obstacle or like hurdle as we've grown the
Oh.
collective, or even just navigating everything?
Well, all I'm gonna say is behind the closed doors. If you know, you know. No, just kidding. No, but really though. No, but really though. Because I know time wise too. I think being in a collective actually. um, like I know in the past. Yeah, no, yeah. I made it clear in the past that like working with people was something that I like had a hard time with for the most part in terms of like trust. And when we created the collective together, it was really like like I knew it was the right time. And Trixie had asked me actually 6 months prior or the year before, and I said no. Or I told her, give me 6 months to think about it.
He like walked out my door. He was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna think about it, and he shut the door behind me. And I'm like, okay.
You know, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's really about like being in a collective, in itself, which I think in hindsight was also what I needed at the same time to learn how to grow, like learn how to grow my communication skills, learn how to also stand my own ground and say that, actually establish my boundaries. Like I think a lot of life skills that I feel like I didn't really know how to practice before, but wanted to, especially saying how I felt. So I guess that goes towards me too. um, yeah, but that's about it. Yeah, so we are down to the last 7 minutes, y'all, and I think if anybody else doesn't have any question, I'd like to ask my last question before we close. How does that sound?
Can I just say something real quick before you move on to
No,
the
no,
next
just kidding.
thing?
Go.
Well, fine. I'm gonna do it anyway. I just want to, in case you were ever doubting yourselves in this area, I just want to commend the three of you for you guys are doing that. Like the goals that you, the ways that you guys want to grow, like not just as artists or as a collective, but as people. I think whatever you've been doing, it's working. Like like Trixi texted me yesterday asking if I wanted to like lead play space this coming month, which is in like 2 weeks, and I'm like, I just started a new job. Can we like can we like circle back in like a month and like just so I can get my new footing or get my footing in this new routine? And she's like, oh yeah, of course. And I don't know, I always feel like the need to, you know, it's the recovering people pleaser thing, the need to like over explain myself, and just, which sounds like you guys kind of like went through that same thing. Yeah, it's been really refreshing to be able to like express a boundary that I have and be like, hey, like I don't think it's gonna work this time, but can we try this other time? And just have people be like, oh yeah, sure. Like that's so different for me. And it's like, it's weird, but it's good. And it's yes, more of that. You guys are doing great, and I think we have a lot of fun together, and it's yeah.
Thank you, Martha. Thank you. Actually, I had another, but it's real quick. It's like one word or one sentence or answer questions, and we can go from the order of Trixie and end with me, I suppose, for that order. What has been a favorite moment of being in this collective? Hashtag circle jerk moment.
Okay. Honestly, right now, it's because I said it on my birthday, so I'll just say it now. Like, honestly, doing play space and being able to get that space and not just collaborate with United AAPI artists here in San Diego, but also getting space at Diversion. Like, I love play space. Like, it's so random and weird and nice to like see each other and create to build community and see people who are like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing, but like just do it. Like trusting because we're all doing it. And we always say, you know, you don't have to do anything. Like, you don't have to do any of this. And I'm always surprised where like people are like, oh yeah, no, I'll do it, I'll try it, and we'll just be awkward together. So I've loved meeting more of our community that way. And then also again, and then I'm picking two. Too bad. And then the other experience would honestly, again, shooting the 48-hour film. Like it would like our crew and cast, like honestly, like what a great fucking experience. Like it was just everyone was just doing their thing on top of their thing, doing it. Like we were getting stuff done. Like the things we waited for were out of our control. Like we were never like waiting for it. Like everyone really was like on top of it, and everyone was really kind about it. And really, you could tell everyone was really passionate about what they were doing and just were doing things that we didn't expect we needed people to do. And they did that. And just to have that sort of collaboration and again, that respect, and passion together as a group was super fucking amazing. Okay, Ian, go. It's your turn.
I would just say experience in general. I think the experience in general overall has just been over gratifying. I really helped me take a step back and understand that these are things that are new and these are the realms of the unknown. Working especially with 48-hour film project, it was the realm of the unknown for me at its highest. And choosing that realm of unknown, I chose that growth. I chose to just roll with the punches and experience it for what it was, and just really, really tie that in with meeting you guys, expanding out that experience. I really appreciate the realm that you guys have provided this growth for me, and then going into just an absolute trust of who I was, because Trixi was rarely on most of the calls the beginning there when I first joined on the writing sessions, and it was mainly Edrian really working at it with Marissa. And Adrian even fessed up. He's like, "It's all new to me, man." I was like, "No judgment here. It's all new to me too, bro. Like, I don't know what's going on." So, it was just that huge realm of not knowing and not knowing together, and being able to be expressive together and find something where we can express together, because there's no sense of creation if you're just holding it for yourself. And I mean, when you really get to the point where you can find something creative and get to the point of an emotion, get to your point of your experience, and get to a point where you can share that with somebody, that might need it. You don't know when, you don't know where. This might be archived footage hundreds of years from now, and there's internet archaeologists out there finding old videos, and they come across this, and this ends up helping somebody some way, somewhere, somehow. Who knows what it is. And you can't plant those trees for yourself to enjoy the shade. You really need to plant those trees for unknown generations to enjoy that shade. And I feel like that's something we strongly do here. So I'll popcorn it to Rich.
My favorite moment, huh? I think for me, like a lot of it's just I have the ability, like because of what I've done for the collective. A lot of it's like I get the outside looking in kind of perspective on it. I would always go back to when I first met Edrian and Marissa. I mean, we were YouTubers, and just the progression of the quality of the videos and whatnot. And it's like it's just being very, very proud to see how far it's gone. Like when we did the Rocky scene, a lot of times it was still it was just like four of us in Trixi's backyard with pretty much just like uh I don't know, makeshift lighting, makeshift audio kind of thing. And then we progressed to the 48-hour film shoot, and it was like now we have the FX6, we have this lighting, and then we're chasing sunlight, and just seeing that progression is my favorite moment. And thankfully it doesn't end there, right? Because it just continues on. So I'm just looking forward to see what else comes about in the future. That's pretty much it.
Am I next? Okay.
Yes.
I would say just trying to keep it short and sweet. The 48-hour was so much fun. And I felt like, Marissa knows, like we had to do like a similar-ish project as an assignment at San Diego State. And for me, she was actually my AD but for my 48 hour, my school 48 hour, and it was like the most chaotic experience of my life, at least in school. But like, we had so much fun, but it was like kind of ridiculous. And I'm like, I'm never doing this again. And then I agreed to do the 48 hour with TFFC, and I'm like, well, fuck it, here we go. And it was like a bazillion times more relaxed than what it was in school. Like, you know, like everyone just kind of did their own thing and like let other people do their role, and like no one stepped on each other's toes, because it's just like, well, like, yeah, go ahead. Like we let each other shine, and I think that's why it worked so well. And yeah, shoot, I forgot the last bit that I was gonna say. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And next.
I mean, I think you guys probably know my answer because I'm just going to echo everyone. I mean, yeah, I think the 48-hour film festival was kind of just like a culmination of everything that Edrian, Trixi, and I envisioned, you know. What was that? End of 2019, beginning of 2020. It's just like, of course, it like started with us, but we're like, no, this could be, you know, a thing beyond just us. And I feel like the 48-hour was, again, like a testament to that, an example of that. And like, yeah, I'm a sucker for like a really, really great set. And like, that was a great set because everyone, again, is like a freaking rock star in their own right, you know? And yeah, sometimes I enjoy the making of the film almost more. Not that the film isn't good, but like, you know, sometimes the making of the film is like what I remember most. And of course, it's like all it has to do with the crew and the people that you're surrounded with. So thank you guys. Edrian?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be said, but I think I will go with not just the 48-hour film fest, but also too, I feel like Marta and the writers, y'all wrote a story that I didn't realize would eventually mirror what would happen right after we shot that one great day. But also too, like, I think just growing with y'all in general and being able to take all of these like lessons learned and actually now working in real sets, and like we're asked a lot of times, if you didn't go to school to study film, you're often just like learning it by doing it in person. So I do feel like, which is one of the main things that we've set out to do for our collective, is to learn. And I feel like, 3 years later, I'm finally able to take like a lot of the things that I've learned and like actually use it, and like a professional, like, oh, I can actually do this, yeah. So at this point, we made it to 6:50. We are a little bit over time, but I don't know. Does anyone have any final words? No, everybody just wants to leave.
This is just the beginning. That's what I'm gonna say. We can leave it at that.
Trixi wants to say something. She keeps wanting to say something.
No, I'm just saying, yeah. Like, I agree with Marissa. I know. I mute myself because a lot of shit I say isn't important. So I'm like, whatever.
No, it is important. Actually, everyone, one last word. There you go. Or we're just kidding. No, we're never leaving. We're never leaving.
I know. You're the one who has to go somewhere. It's like you. Are you even at the place you're supposed to be? Or do you have to drive?
No, I'm on campus.
What are you doing?
I'm on campus. I don't know. I'll be honest. I feel like I don't want this to end, but I also have to respect our time and also the next schedule that I have to run to. This won't be the last. Yeah, I guess on our behalf, all of us, I just want to say thank you for catching the live stream or the replay of Behind the Scene, created by Marissa Roxas, by the way. So shout out. Thank you to Trixi, Ian, Rich, Marta, Marissa for showing up tonight, and catch you all next time. Oh, thank you for me too. Just kidding. Yeah, and catch you all next time. Who's gonna end the live? Trixi, end the live.
I am. We're leaving. Bye, everyone. Wave vigorously.